What's up, Cappy Crew? It's me, Cappy, and you know what? One of my favorite things about the One Piece card game is that it's not basketball. You see, I'm 5'11", so whenever I play basketball, anybody who's remotely taller than me, which is a lot of people, just make sure that I get dunked on. There's not a whole lot that I can do. But when I sit across from somebody at my local card shop and want to play One Piece, it's an even playing field. Truly, the only thing that differentiates me from you is what leader I'm playing, what cards I chose to put in my deck, the strategies that I'm going to employ, and the luck of the draw. But what if you want to be like your favorite character Shanks, maybe play with one hand behind your back? You're the type of person who wants to be playing at a disadvantage. Instead of playing Goldie Roger, you picked up the Shanks starter deck and you want to play your favorite character. Well, lucky for you, welcome to my Shanks deck profile. Let's get into it. So, Shanks, what does he do? Once per turn, you can activate this effect when your opponent attacks. You give up to one of your opponent's leaders or characters minus 1000 power for the turn. So this is a really solid defensive ability, specifically against leaders like Zoro, where they're going to be swinging with the same character multiple times. You just pop that on it, and it's very, very effective. Our whole strategy is to just make it to the late game where we can buff up our leader and then also play out these massive bodies. And so every single card in our deck is designed to do that. Traditionally, you can play Shanks pretty control heavy. I actually play against a rush heavy build of Shanks, but I think that this very defensive sit back stall type of build is the most effective right now. Spoiler, this deck is not like super competitive in OP-13, meaning that you could probably win locals with it, but it can't. Emu, Ace, Zoro are still really hard matchups. I think that they can beat Zoro. I think it can do okay into Ace, but Emu is rough against this leader. So just take that with what you will. However, I still think that he's extremely strong, and if they put even a little bit more red support in, he could be really good again. So he's still worth learning. So what are these support cards for Shanks? First, we got the Searcher Uta. This is just a searcher. It searches for red-haired pirates. So we're running a red-haired pirates package here. Next, we got this Ace and Sabo and Luffy card. This one I wanted to experiment with to try and remove things from the board, but it's not my favorite. I think I would replace it with a searchable 2K from Uta, but with this video I'm playing it, and the reason I'm playing it is because it can minus 3000 power and it's a 2K, so it's really strong 2K. Mostly we just use it for 2Ks. However, in that niche event where you're trying to hit something that's like 9K, you can use this and then hit it with Beckman. You can use this and then hit it with Mole Gun if you want to hit something that's like 11. You can also use it with Divine Departure 2. This is a combo piece with your removal. However, it's not like great. So you could replace this, but we're playing with this in the video. Next, we got Yasop. I like this card a lot. This is the 1-cost, 1K power, 1K counter one. With an activate main, you just give a Rested Dawn card to one of your leader characters. This is super duper solid to push yourself over to like 6K. You can put it on your other Yasop. I dig this card. It makes playing these 10 drops feel a little bit better. Yeah, I love it. Next, we got Hongo. Hongo is another good removal piece. It's 3-cost, 3K power, 2K counter with an activate main. You can rest the character, and if your leader has red-haired pirates type, which we do have because we're Shanks, then you just minus 2000 power for a character for the turn. So really, really solid. Like this card a lot. We're going to run 4 of them because he's 2K. Next, you can use any sort of combo of these next 3 cards that you want. I was just running 2-2-2. But you can feel free to experiment with it. We got Lucky Roo from the starter deck. This is the 4-cost, 5K power, 1K counter blocker with the on KO. If your leader has red-haired pirates, which we do, you can KO up to one of your opponent's characters with an original power of 6K or less. So this is really, really solid to keep tempo on the board. That's kind of what we're trying to do in the mid game, is just try and mitigate the tempo loss. So you can use this Lucky Roo to KO what is swinging into you generally, or maybe even something even stronger. It's really, really good. Next, we got this Shanks. This Shanks is a 4-cost 6k blocker, and on opponent's attack, you can trash a card from your hand to give up to one of your opponent's leader or characters minus 2,000 power for the turn. So this is another really great card versus Zoro because it's minus 2k for the turn, not just for the battle. So it's a little bit stronger than just a 2k blocker. It's stronger than that Baccarat. Doesn't have any counter on it, but worst case scenario, you swing in for 6. Very, very strong. So we're running 2, but like I said, feel free, whatever kind of combo you want to run with these. This is good. I love this Lucky Roo, but you know, it's PRB, so it's probably a little bit more expensive, but it's 4 cost 2k counter 1k 4 cost 2k power 1k counter blocker. With the on play, you can trash a character card with a power of 6,000 more from your hand and then draw 2 cards. So what I feel like, Shanks has a little bit of trouble with draw power, so if you have this Lucky Roo, you can play it out. You can trash one of your big bricks, because we run a ton of them. You can trash one of these big dogs and draw 2 cards. Very solid blocker. Next, 5 of the Yasop. This is 4 of the Yasop. 5 cost, 6k power, 1k counter. On play, up to one of your leader gains 1,000 power until the end of your opponent's next turn. And then Don times 1 when attacking, to one of your opponent's characters gets minus 1,000 power for this turn. So why we like to play this card is because it boosts that leader power. It helps make it they have to use a little bit more Dawn to swing in. And if we're 6k and we minus them 1k, they can't just swing in. They have to swing in for 6 easy. And this is a very, very solid card to try and get you to the end game. You'll see that this is a theme, is boosting that power. We want to be like Roger, basically. We're going to be pretend Roger by boosting all this power into our leader. Next, we run 4 of the 6 cost 4k power 2k counter Uta blockers. Very solid card. This is so good. It's not searchable, but if you have a character with 10,000 power or more, give the card minus 4 cost. So if you have these big dogs on the field already, it's only a 2 cost blocker, little chump blocker, but it's 2k counter. And because it's 6 cost, it can't be rested by things like Kuina. It can kind of get away with a lot of this cost removal type stuff. Very, very solid. We run 4 of these. Next, Benjamin Beckman. 7 cost, 7k power, 1k counter. On play, trash up to one of your opponent's characters with a power of 6,000 or less. And it's trash. So you can avoid things like Kikunojo. You can avoid things like Basil Hawkins. It's really solid for that, but you can trash bigger stuff too, combined with this Ace Sabo and Luffy, and like this Hongo, other power reduction, and you can hit some big stuff. It's really solid tempo piece. Like I'm saying again, a good tempo piece. You can get those Tashigis out of here, get those Cavendishes out of here, that kind of stuff. Very, very solid card. 4 of, and you generally want to play this on curve. Next, we get to the big boys. And this is Edward Newgate. He's 9 cost, 10k power. On play, up to one of your leaders gains 2,000 power. The rest doesn't matter. We hardly ever use them when attacking, but Don times 2 when attacking. You K up to one of your opponent's characters 3,000 or less. Kushru, basically. But very, very solid, and it helps boost that power in the late game, and that's what we're trying to go for. We want to be 7k. 7k is hard to swing at, especially with leader. With leader ability, it's basically 8k for at least one swing, so very, very solid. Yeah, 2 of them. Next, 9 cost 10k power Shanks. He does something very similar. He gives you that extra 2,000 power, but if your opponent has an 8,000 power character, he's actually a 6 cost character. So he's statted up. And so what you can do too, though, is you play this out first, and then Uta now is a 2 cost character. So for 8 Dawn, you can play Shanks and Uta on the same turn and still have 2 Dawn to work with. Very solid. Love this. And this helps us build board, stay alive until we can turn all our characters sideways and go for game. Next, 2 of the 10 cost 12k removal Shanks that KO at 10,000 power or less. Very solid. You have to, now listen friends, if you want to kill a Whitebeard blocker, you have to have Hongo on the field first. So on your, I don't know, 8 Dawn turn, you have to maybe play Hongo and a Yasop, and then you can use Hongo's ability at the start of your next turn, then drop the Shanks. That's the correct play there. I goof it many times. I've goofed it so much. So just remember, friends, have Hongo on the field first before you drop Shanks. Next, we got 3 of the 10 cost Rush Shanks with minus 1000 power against all your opponent's characters. This is so good. This is fun to just drop, and you don't even have to swing. If you don't want him to be in danger, don't even swing with him. Just drop him on the field. Your opponent will hate your guts. Next, we have 1 Goldie Roger. Why only 1 Goldie Roger, Cappy? That's because I only own 1, okay? Okay? And most of the time, honestly, the 10 cost Shanks is better for the deck, I would say. This is more of a tech card, so only 1 is fine. And then we get to our events. We have 2 Bad Manners Kit Course. This just helps filter bricks out of your hand and counter. We got Divine Departure. You can pop those Katakuris, pop those Mihawks, pop those big dogs. And it's, you know, one of the events where you can actually just use it to gain 3000 power for the battle. And if you're already at like 7k, I mean, that brings you up to like what? Freaking 10? Yeah, that's solid. Very solid. And then 2 Mulguns, because Mulgun is probably the best removal event in the game. And this helps with that mid-game tempo. So, is it good? Let's find out. Let's jump into some games. All right, so first game, we're playing up against a red-green Luffy. We're going to go ahead and go first, because I'd like to hit that 7 Don Ben Beckman. Yeah, this isn't too bad. We'll keep. And we'll go ahead and play out an Uta. And I'm kind of looking for, like, this blocker isn't bad, but we also have this Lucky Roo. I think we go ahead and take the blocker here, because really I was searching for something big, a big body, one of our big meaty boys. But that's okay, we got plenty of them in the deck. We'll find them eventually. They're going to play out Monkey D. Garp, search and find a secret Luffy, the secret Luffy, and then play another Nami, or this time a Nami, and find a Zoro. So gives us a little bit of a hint about what might be coming up here soon. Since I don't have any sort of Dawn though, I'm trying to get as many cards as possible. So we're gonna go ahead and swing 5 with Uta. We don't have a 3 Dawn play, and with this deck, you'll be doing this quite a bit, I think, is just attaching to 3 Dawn and swinging, but I feel like it's decent. This is not a bad play. And it kind of incentivizes them to swing into Uta. They'll probably just swing in with the Garp and the Nami, and we're just gonna probably let Uta go. But they're not interested in that yet. They're gonna search first with a Garp, find a Sanji. And then let's see what they do. They don't have enough Dawn for the Zoro, the 4-cost Zoro. That's probably what they were looking for. I'm surprised they didn't play it. They have this 2k Tashigi, which is kind of interesting. I see no point in even using our leader ability here. I really just don't. Here, we are not going to get swung into again. I think I just want the card. So we'll just take. Okay, 2k. Ain't bad. Go ahead and organize our hand here. Draw. We drew into a new gate, which is pretty solid. And we can either draw more cards with this Lucky Roo, or we can play out the Shanks for a big defensive buff. That's tricky. Because I would ditch this Shanks with the card. I think we do that just to draw more cards. We'll ditch that Shanks. Perfect. We found a 2k and the Rush Shanks in life. So I dig that. It makes no sense to swing into leader here because he has 9k available with this 2 Don up. So we'll just go ahead and just swing into the searcher. 5 to 2. He'll probably let it go unless he wants to counter out of that, which I guess is fine. Perhaps I should have gone 6 into 2. He doesn't even think twice. Yeah, he just lets it go. I feel like that was actually a misplay by me. He should have saved it there with the 2 Don up. There's no way I would have had anything else for 1 Don. But we're leaving the Don up for Divine Departure just in case I feel like I want it. Sometimes it's good to just leave a Don up just to fake people out. Do we get the Zoro here? Okay, no, a Nami. That is really solid, actually. However, that means that we will actually be able to punch through this turn, which is very convenient. We're going to go ahead and counter out of this one since we can. We'll go ahead and give them an Ace, Sabo, and Luffy. And then I'm sure they'll just go ahead and pass. Yes. So we have to punch in for 7 if we want to do anything. Unfortunately, he is 7k. And so, like, our only Beckman target is really this Nami, which is not incredible. I think maybe a better option would be to play out Lucky Roo, block with Lucky Roo, block this attack with Lucky Roo, thus KOing the Nami. And then that also gives us more Dawn to swing in with. I think that is the play. We'll go ahead and do 1, 2, 3. We'll swing 8 into 5. So they have to give us at least another 2k on top of this. So they'll bump up to 7. And then you have to give me a 2k. There we go. We got the Zoro that we saw earlier. Perfect. And then we'll go ahead and play out the Lucky Roo and pass. So the way this Shanks deck works is you really do want to be pretty defensive early. Play out your blockers, play out your Lucky Roos, use your leader ability, save stuff, maintain your cards like your hand size, and then you punch in with your big, meaty boys. Because, for instance, we'll be 9 Dawn next turn. We'll be able to play Shanks and boost our leader up to 10k, which would be incredible. We're going to go ahead and use our card action here, and then use a 2k. And I think we use a... No blocker. Yeah, and we'll use the Hongo. Hongo and Ace, Sabo, Luffy do slightly different, like, they kind of work similar, but they actually work different. Boom, we'll go ahead and resolve that and KO the Nami. Perfect. Exactly what we wanted to do. Block the double attack swing, get rid of that Nami before she could even use her ability. So now he's got to be thinking about what he's going to be playing next. And we got that Luffy to turn sideways, so that's huge. Ooh. That kind of sucks, though. Another option that we could do, though, is... so we'll be at 9 Dawn. We can use this Ace, Sabo, and Luffy's ability and then play out Beckman and just trash this double attack Luffy, which honestly might be a pretty good idea. We could also just play out 6 to kill it, but Beckman establishes a body as well. Another option is we just hard play this Shanks. And that gets us up to 7k, but they just save it. That kind of sucks. So I don't think Shanks is the right call. We can also play Newgate. Also, I don't think that's quite the right call yet. We need to make sure that we kill this thing. I think that's how we're going to do it. Is play this out. Yep, give the active Dawn here. Minus 3,000 power. Play out the Beckman and KO the secret Luffy. And we'll swing in for 6, because why the frick not? But they'll just counter out. If it wasn't leader, then I'd be concerned. But I don't think there's anything that he's playing, unless he's playing Arlong, that could freeze my Shanks. Maybe that was a slight misplay there to swing in with Shanks. But I don't think it's the end of the world by any means. There we go. That is Zoro. Perhaps maybe we should have kept the Hongo. Is we have Divine Departure to remove it, but it has to be down 1,000 power. So that's the tricky part. That's the tricky part. Maybe we'll draw something. Nah, Uta. Ah, it's an Uta. Yasop. Not exactly what we need. I like Shanks. Shanks is like this big Shanks is good. This little Shanks is also good because I can actually cheat him out for very little. Yeah, maybe we do this actually. We'll do this. We'll save a Dawn for Divine Departure to go up actually. Now that we play that out, we can just play out another blocker. We can play out this Yasop. We'll go ahead and give a rested Dawn to I guess it doesn't really matter. Is I want to go for this Sanji twice. We'll go 7 into the Sanji, ask for the 2k ability here. They might just give us a 1k out of hand. If they give us a 1k out of hand, I think I'll swing it for life. Yeah, we'll just swing into life then. Because that asks for at least another card. Yeah, or they take the life. I was really hoping that they would counter that Dawn. That was good to not do that, I guess. Now let's see what they got. It makes it a little bit more difficult since Shanks is now 7k. Okay, they're gonna go ahead and play out the secret Luffy just to establish more stuff on the ground. I think if we survive this turn, we go for game. If we survive this turn, they might go big, but they can't go too big. I have a blocker. I have 2 blockers. Oh, whoa. Okay. I mean, I think we just eat them all. I think we just eat them all. I was hoping one of these would be our Roger. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. I'm a 7k leader. Yeah, we're gonna use our thing. You can't have that. Wandon up is kind of wild, to be honest. We got out of it without losing any blockers either. Crazy work. Okay. So we know they have the extra 2k. I'm thinking of all of our options here. We could Hongo and then Divine Departure this to kill it. I don't think that is good. I think we just kind of go for game. I think we have the sauce to do it. We could also play out this 10 cost Rush Shanks to kind of just see what we got cooking. It's tricky. Because I don't know if we can play Rush Shanks and win right now. He's frozen. Does not become active during your next refresh phase. So he'd have to use the activate main to set it as active. So it's not really frozen. It's pseudo frozen. Let's start it off. The 7K to lead. I'm asking for both with the 7K. They take the life. That's big for us. That's very big, actually, because now I feel a lot more confident to drop R Shanks. Let's go. Five and ask for a card. They give it 2K. What could possibly... They go to 9 and then 2K to block out? Right? Okay, we're going all in. We're going all in. And I need to do this to go to 11 so that we can't be got by a 2K. Because 9 and then this would make him 9 and then a 2K would make him 11, so I can't swing him for 10. Charles Stone. Is that it? Is that all she wrote? He had it. Oh, he had it. GG. Dang. That's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. It's not GG yet, though. He might be getting a little bit of ahead of himself. Yeah, why you do that? You're not unblockable. Oh, dang. You have to be more confident. You have to be more careful than that. No, I have 2Ks. I have 2Ks. Oh no. I forgot about blockers. Oh no. Here's the thing though, is that if we rewind the game state, knowing that he only has these 2 cards in hand, okay? And I have 2 blockers on the field. I think that you kind of have to unfreeze this. But then you only get 2 attacks with it. If you only get 2 attacks with it, assuming he goes like almost all in on it, I have 2 blockers. And then I had a lot of counter plus leader ability. So with all of that, assuming he went as big as possible, I block out of one, I block out of another, and I use leader ability and counter out the rest. I think that he may have been able to win, but I still think that it was a deserved win there. But good game to my opponent. Well played. The Shanks ditto. Oh shoot, I'll go second. And I'm Mully. Oh, this sucks. This is the worst hand of all time. 3 2Ks. At least we got Uta. At least we can search for something. What is he running? Let's find out what he searches here. Probably Big Shanks. Guessing something large. Okay, Beckman. This will be quite an interesting game. I'm actually pretty excited for this. I think we got to take a big item here. So we'll go ahead and just take that. Then we'll pass. Yeah. Here, this is the easiest card action I've ever used in my entire life. And then I think we take this. Another Ace Sabo and Luffy? No. Oh my goodness. What's going on? We don't even have a 4-Dom play. So I think that we'll go 5 into Uda. Five into Uda. with Uda, yeah, and then we go 6 into 5. You have to go 6 into Shanks. You have to go 6 into Shanks for it to mean anything. Yeah, so he decided not even going to give me a 2K or a 1K. He's just going to take it. Now, he's in his 5-Don turn. I'm looking for a Yasop. Looking for maybe a Lucky Roo, Shanks blocker. We'll see what he has cooking up his sleeve. Yeah, okay. That Lucky Roo. Not bad. That makes sense. Yeah, and of course we're just gonna let that one go. Okay, this is interesting. We have to swing first. This is why sequencing is important, friends. Before I play out this Yasop, I have to be wary of this Lucky Roo. So I have to swing in 6 first in case they block. They don't have anything that they can KO. Then I play out the Yasop, and that's unfortunate because I don't get that extra 1000 power, but at least it saves it, and I have to play on curve. Now, I'm not worried about its survival for the next turn because I have Ben Beckman I can play. Now, I know that he has Ben Beckman as well, so it's going to be a little Beckman battle here, too. But I still think it's probably best to just play it. And force him to play the Beckman. You know, you have to at least force the enemy to make a move. Even if this is the easiest Beckman of his life, if he were to Beckman here, he can now not swing in. And that is just the way it is. And then I will just Beckman the Roo with my own Beckman and then swing in for 6. So, yeah, exactly. So here we go. There's the Beckman, just as I predicted. Yeah, and we're at 8, so we can't use Asabu and Luffy. Yeah, what we'll do is just... We want to play out Beckman first, so that they have to actually interact with this. Because, I don't want them to block, you know. Now I want to keep the tempo going, so... We got a Hongo out of hand, which is good. They have 6 cards to my 8. So I'm feeling pretty hot. We have at least some sort of tempo. We have a million 2Ks, and we have our big dogs that we can play the next turn. And we will be playing it the next turn. That's why I decided to go second. Because I want to be able to play Shanks on curve. Right now, the biggest thing he can play is a Newgate. Or... the other Shanks. For this, we'll go ahead and use the card action and give an Ace and Luffy because I'm sick of seeing their ugly mugs. There's too many of them. There's too many of them. Okay. I'm gonna play out the blocker Shanks, and that kind of tells me he definitely doesn't have 9 cost in hand because I feel like that'd be the easiest thing to do. Just play the 9 cost. Interesting. I like this. Okay. A little bit of rush. A little bit of rush. Oh, but unfortunate for you, I have 80,000 Asabo and Luffy's. So this does nothing. This means nothing to me. Look at all these. Get them out of my hand. Wash my hands of these hackers. It's interesting. I can play out the Shanks. I can play out the Rush Shanks. Got a lot of different options. Okay, I think what we do though is just play out Big Shanks. Swing 5 to 5. Start it there. They can't block now because if they block, that's also a 5K. But they can use their abilities to, you know, obviously knock me down. Yeah, they're just going to use that. But that's okay because we're going to do the same thing again. Now he can trash card for a 2K and then give another one. I'm really just kind of gunning for border control. Getting the first body down is so important because nice. Okay. You're like, wait, Cappy, why are you swinging into this? This is still a 6K on his turn, friends. He can give an active Don card, okay? This is 6K regardless on his turn, and it's already used the on play. This continues to give him value. This is the more valuable card. We're going into this. It is the way. As long as this card remains on the field, this card is just a 6K regardless. But this one can move that Don around. And so, yeah, I feel like this was the right call to go into. Oh, he's gonna minus some K here. Oh, Divine Departure incoming? There's building snakes. Dragon. But the problem is this. Okay, it's 8 and 8. I don't. This is a very aggressive build of Shanks. A lot of rush. It does not go well into a very defensive build of Shanks with a lot of. He's because right now. Okay. What are you? You're at 8K. You can swing into the 8K, but that's the easiest reduction of my life. You can. Okay, so there's an 8K here incoming. I think we just take it. Heck it. We pulled a 2K. That's nice. That's convenient. We'll use card action here. And then counter out of that. Oh, it's a 6K. That's funny. Okay, well, no big deal. I guess I did my math wrong. Surprise, surprise. But no big deal. That was only for one turn, and we keep him on the board. You know what's really annoying? You know what really sucks? Is when there's 2 big Shanks on the board. That's surrender mode right there, baby. Yeah. We'll swing 5 into 5, bait this out. Then we'll swing 7 into 5. Then we'll swing 7. And then we'll swing 12 into 5. So now, look at this. We both have 4 cards in hand. Okay. We both have 3 life. I got 3 big bodies on the board. Now, Beckman's a medium one, but these 2 Shanks. That's that good, man. That's that good stuff. Okay. I guess we just use card action. I'm expecting a 10 drop if he's already swinging into leader of all things. But what do you play here is the problem. Shanks doesn't have anything that can go against this Shanks unless it's another Shanks, but even then, you're just asking 1 card out of hand. Interesting. Unblockable Luffy. 2K. At least they did get a blocker on the field here. But here's the thing about blockers on the field here. Is I can just blow them up. I can just blow them up. We'll go 5 into 4. Kind of gotta let this go. Feel like you gotta let this go unless you got a 2K. And then he's gonna go ahead and resign. I feel like this build is a very rush heavy, aggressive build of Shanks, which is pretty cool. But yeah, it doesn't do very well against this super back foot. Just build up your leader, build up your board, Shanks. But good game to my opponent. Well played. All right, we are going up against a purple-yellow Nico Robin. I'm not a huge fan of this starting hand. No super big guys, no searchers. So we're gonna mulligan, be a little bit greedy. Okay, I like this better. We have Uta, so we can search for our middle end. That's kind of what I want to do. I want to at least have 1 big dog that I can just like play out, and search for the middle. Like there's another Yasop. Actually, I think we take this since we already have 2 Yasops. So yeah, right after I get done saying we kind of search for the middle, we find 2 Yasops. Yeah, this is a banish swing. But I have to give up 3 cards in hand. I just don't think that's worth it. Yeah. I think that's fine. Here we will go ahead and go 5 into 5. And then we will go ahead and play out the blocker Lucky Roo so we don't have to take that banish swing and no mo. Now they're at 6. Interesting. They're gonna go ahead and do that, which is fine. Here though, we will just use our card action and get rid of this Ace, Sabo, and Luffy. That's pretty good God Thread there. I was expecting the Nico Robin, but I also don't think that would have been as good as God Thread. So cool to see. Smart play. Yeah, we're not gonna play out the character first. We're gonna swing in with 6, ask for a 2K, and they just take, and then we go ahead and play it now. And the reason is because I don't know what kind of stuff they got in there. What if what if they have something that can make it so that it just like dies, you know? Triggers are scary. Triggers are scary. And I think there's a few things in there that can do that. Like a red rock. Oh, red rock hits a 4 actually. But anyways, it's better to swing first in general. Now this would have given me an extra plus 1000 power, but she took the life anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. Here they're gonna bounce the Yasop back into life and then pass. They knew they want to keep this Dawn up for Giant, I think. So they didn't even attempt a swing in because they knew I had leader ability. Now, unfortunately, we can't really play Beckman. Like, what's that gonna do? I think we just play Yasop again. And then just kind of go big. We'll go 9. Okay, I wanted to ask them to Giant. That is why I did that. I was hoping for a Giant and then like a 1K. But they're smarter than me. They're freaking smart. This one we will won't block out of. Okay. Didn't give rush, and they don't swing in with banish because they know I have leader ability. Pretty smart. Smart play. Here we can jump up to 7. Or do we just play out Shanks? Like the big Shanks. And go big. Let's swing with leader first. Okay, no trigger there. Swing in with Yasop. I'm trying to empty out their hand a little bit. Yeah, that's a 2K. Because I want to be able. It now costs 2 cards out of hand. No, 3 cards out of hand to save this Lin from this Shanks. And 2 of those would be 2Ks. Okay, Divine Departure, and then a 2K. So they did have they did get there with the Lin. But we have enough counter in hand. I think we can save this. Maybe. Actually, I think I'm not gonna. Yeah, I was like, wait, I think I don't block this. Oh, Divine Departure eviscerates that Shanks. That is a solid play. Bringing him down to a 4K. Ouch. Ouch. Sheesh, yeah, we can't save him. We will save this if we can. No, we can't save that either. Oof. They played that really well, honestly. I feel like that was well done. But we have some options too. You can play out this, go to 7. We'll swing 7 into 5. They're gonna take that life. And then we'll just drop 2 more blockers and the pass. Dang, killing that 10-cost Shanks makes my soul hurt. But that was a really solid play with the Divine Departure, honestly. It's plays like that, you're just like, well, can't really be too mad at it. I think we use the card action here. Say no blocker and get rid of the 2 Beckmans. Because I want to block... Yeah, this one we won't block, but we will block whatever Nico Robin throws at us. Oh, okay. Well, I guess we'll just block this one. It's a lot of ace. That's a frick ton of ace. Okay. We search. Found 9 cost, which is huge for us. Lay it out. And then these are 10 cost. Or 10k. You know, I actually wonder if I could have gone for game here. It's okay. It's alright. Sometimes I get like a little too in the zone, maybe. We're gonna go 9 into 9. We'll go 9 into the Lin Lin. That way I can go 11 into an ace. Okay, they decide not to, like, decide to let that one go. Maybe they'll... Oh, get rid of 2 Kumas? 2 Kumas? Now, I'm okay with letting this one go, because I have another one already on the field. It'll be interesting, though, if they decide to go for game here. They have another ace, they could do it. Because he has to be, what, 2 life? 2 life cards or less, he gains rush. Oh, no, but he heals first. So technically a 10 cost ace would not be good here. I think we take that. No trigger. We got the 9 cost Edward Newgate out of life, and they know what the last one is, and that is a persnickety place to be. We have a blocker though. Let's just let it ride. What do you have? What do you have, little one? Oh, the healer. But it pops stuff back into life, doesn't it? Yeah, so it's got to be... Okay, the Uta blocker. I can't play it. I have this blocker. Do we block her up? I wonder if that's... They can't giant. They can't giant this turn. They can't giant. So we can go maybe 6. Maybe we just go for game. Let's try it. Let's try it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Please don't be a 2K. Okay, it wasn't. Oh, cannot attack. Can't attack. That's tricky. That's tricky. Too bad I don't need that guy. Too bad I don't need that guy. That's the guy I don't need. That's the guy I don't need. Okay. Let's go 7. And then we won. Oh my gosh, that was crazy. I accidentally hit the end button. But oh, that was nutty. Oh my gosh. Okay. Good game to my opponent. Well played. And those Udas, those Searcher Udas came in the clutch at the end. So funny. I love it when a plan comes together. Friends, that was my Shanks deck profile showcase. I hope you all enjoyed this build of it. I think it's really fun. And I just love dropping out those big friggin' characters. So hopefully, if you're trying to upgrade your starter decks, if you're trying to play your favorite character, this is the build that I personally would go with. Before we end the video, just one, thank you so much for watching this far. Big shouts out to you. Pat yourself on the back. Two, shouts out to my member, my channel member, Dr.GoofballDingle. Shout out to you in particular. If you want to be a member, just click the button below. I got the membership option for just $1 a month, and then another one for $3 a month. So that's available to you, and you'll see the videos before anybody else. And that's just the perk. That's just the perk of being cool. If you want, there are some resources down below in the description. There is the local tracker that I've made. There's my TCG player link if you want to buy cards directly from me. I really need to put more cards up on that thing. And that's about it. Until next time, just remember to swing tall, okay? See you in the next one. Deuces.